Natasha Bianca Lyonne Brownstein was born on April 4, 1979 in New York City. Her life started in an eclectic, dramatic family worthy of its own movie. Her dad, Aaron Braunstein, was a larger-than-life character, a former boxing promoter, radio host, even a race car driver at one point. Her mom, Yvette, came from an Orthodox Jewish family with roots that traced back to Holocaust survivors, something Natasha says shaped her sense of resilience from a young age. As a kid, Natasha split her childhood between Great Neck, Long Island, and the bustling streets of Manhattan. When she was just 8, the family moved to Israel for a year and a half. It was there that Natasha got her very first taste of showbiz, landing a small role in an Israeli children's film called April Fool. Talk about foreshadowing. When the family moved back to New York, things weren't exactly smooth. Her parents eventually divorced, and Natasha and her older brother Adam lived with their mother on the Upper East Side. She attended the prestigious Ramaz School, a private Jewish school known for its rigorous academics. Natasha was bright. She even took Talmud classes and learned a bit of Aramaic. But she was also rebellious. At just 14, she got expelled for selling weed to her classmates. Wild, right? But even back then, her mischievous side hinted at the magnetic, unpredictable personality she'd become famous for. After the expulsion, Natasha and her mom moved down to Miami, where she finished high school at Miami Country Day School. But the classroom couldn't contain her. She returned to New York at 16 and enrolled at NYU's Tisch School of the Arts on a scholarship, dreaming of becoming a filmmaker. Yet, tuition costs and a hunger for real-world experience pulled her out before graduation. She decided to skip the student loans and jump straight into the industry instead. What's wild is that by then, Natasha was no stranger to the camera. At just 6, she'd been signed by the Ford Modeling Agency. By 7, she was already on TV, appearing on Pee-wee's Playhouse as the adorable, curious Opal. While other kids were trading baseball cards, Natasha was trading lines with Paul Rubens. That early start set her up for a life in front of, and eventually behind, the camera. Little did she know just how bumpy and brilliant that road would be. Natasha's career is the ultimate Hollywood roller coaster, a wild ride with cult hits, box office blockbusters, stumbles, and some spectacular comebacks. In the mid-90s, Natasha made her mark as an indie darling. Her breakthrough came with the 1996 Woody Allen musical comedy, Everyone Says I Love You. But it was the 1998 cult favorite Slums of Beverly Hills that truly showcased her raw talent and comic timing. Playing Vivian, a teenage girl navigating life with her eccentric broke family, Natasha brought warmth and bite to the role. It was the kind of performance that made people say, "This girl's gonna be big." Then came 1999, Natasha's big breakout year. She starred in But I'm a Cheerleader, a satirical LGBTQ+ cult classic about a teen girl sent to a conversion camp. Her performance as Megan, an all-American cheerleader who realizes she's gay, was fearless and funny. The same year, she charmed mainstream audiences as the sarcastic Jessica in American Pie. The film exploded at the box office, grossing over $230 million worldwide. And Natasha suddenly found herself part of the teen movie royalty. Throughout the early 2000s, Natasha kept working steadily. She appeared in edgy indies like Party Monster and genre flicks like Scary Movie 2 and Blade Trinity. She even hit the stage in New York theater productions, reminding everyone she wasn't just a film star. She was a serious performer. But Hollywood is never a straight path. Natasha's personal battles, which we'll get to in a moment, overshadowed her career during this time. Roles dried up, directors hesitated to cast her, and Natasha drifted away from the big screen. For a while, she was more famous for scandal than scripts. Then came 2013, her redemption arc. Natasha was cast as Nikki Nichols in Netflix's Orange is the New Black. With her tough exterior and vulnerable interior, Nikki was Natasha personified. Audiences and critics loved her. She earned Emmy nominations and became a fan favorite. The show's success reminded everyone what Natasha was capable of. Scene-stealing performances that felt honest, raw, and uniquely her. But Natasha didn't stop at acting. She leveled up, stepping behind the camera as a creator. In 2019, she co-created and starred in Russian Doll, a mind-bending dark comedy about a New Yorker who keeps dying and reliving the same night. It was weird, witty, and totally Natasha. The show scored 13 Emmy nominations and cemented her reputation as a creative force. Most recently, Natasha teamed up with Knives Out director Rian Johnson for Poker Face. In the series, she plays Charlie Cale, a human lie detector who solves crimes on the run. Natasha's dry humor, vintage vibe, and that iconic blue Plymouth Barracuda made the show an instant hit. Natasha Lyonne has gone from indie darling to comeback queen to creative mogul, and she did it all in her own irreverent, unstoppable style. Of course, no story about Natasha Lyonne is complete without talking about her headline-grabbing personal life. In the early 2000s, Natasha became known as much for her off-screen antics as for her acting. Substance abuse, run-ins with the law, and health scares turned her into a cautionary tale, the original wild child before the tabloids fixated on Lindsay Lohan. At one point, Natasha's struggles nearly killed her. She suffered from a collapsed lung, hepatitis C, and a heart infection. She was homeless for a while and faced multiple arrests, including a notorious incident where she threatened to harm a neighbor's dog, landing her in court. "I was definitely as good as dead," Natasha once said. It's the kind of honesty her fans love her for. But she didn't stay down. With the help of close friends like actress Chloe Sevigny, her ride or die since the 90s, Natasha went through court-ordered rehab, got clean, and started to rebuild her life. Chloe later said she forgave Natasha's bad behavior because addiction changes people. That loyalty speaks volumes about Natasha's inner circle and her own resilience. Today, Natasha is sober, healthy, and thriving. She's spoken openly about her struggles in interviews, never hiding her past, but always emphasizing how it shaped her. She once joked that being a survivor makes her even more fun at parties. Classic Natasha. In her love life, Natasha had an 8-year relationship with comedian Fred Armisen. The breakup was so amicable she even joked about it publicly, saying they split over whether or not to build a swimming pool. Now, Natasha is linked to Bryn Mooser, a media entrepreneur and documentary filmmaker. The two reportedly met through industry circles and share a love for bold, offbeat storytelling. Friends say they balance each other out. Bryn brings the business savvy, while Natasha brings the creative fire. And together, they've even co-founded her new animation studio, Asteria Film. She doesn't have kids, but she's happy and embracing her self-described divorced dad era, living life with her trademark sense of humor and freedom. Natasha Lyonne's career has been built over decades of indie films, cult TV hits, and smart business moves. While her early roles didn't pay blockbuster salaries, her more recent work has definitely boosted her bank account. For example, on Poker Face, she's reportedly earning around $75,000 per episode, a testament to how far she's come and the demand for her unique style. All in all, her net worth today is estimated at around $5 million, a hard-earned fortune that matches her staying power. When it comes to real estate, Natasha's taste is just as quirky and cool as her personality. Back in 2017, she made headlines for checking out a nearly $2 million condo inside a converted East Village synagogue. This historic building is more than a typical New York apartment. It still features stunning original stained glass windows from the early 1900s, giving it a dramatic, artistic vibe. The unit she toured has a spacious open-floor plan with a chef's kitchen, marble finishes, and a private elevator, blending old-world character with modern luxury. It's located on East 6th Street, right in the heart of one of Natasha's favorite neighborhoods, the East Village, a place she's called both strange and familiar, just like her. Photos of the condo reveal cozy nooks, high ceilings, and artistic touches that would feel right at home for someone who loves vintage, eclectic spaces. That place alone tells you everything about Natasha's offbeat taste in homes. Natasha's spiral staircase, which got a lot of buzz among design lovers, is one of the few glimpses she's shared from her Los Angeles home. but she keeps the rest of that space mostly private. Her love for vintage doesn't stop with real estate. Natasha's a big fan of classic cars. She's been seen driving the iconic blue Plymouth Barracuda featured in Poker Face. She's hinted at a broader interest in retro rides, loving that old-school muscle car vibe that suits her so well. When it comes to fancy events or red carpets, she keeps it practical and classy, usually arriving in a black luxury SUV like a Cadillac Escalade or Mercedes G-Wagon, the Hollywood standard for staying low-key yet stylish. Beyond real estate and cars, Natasha puts her money into her creative ventures. Animal Pictures, her production company with Maya Rudolph, backs offbeat comedies and indie gems. Asteria Film, her new AI animation company with Bryn Mooser, is a bold bet on the future of storytelling. All in all, Natasha's assets prove that she's not just living large, she's living true to herself, mixing smart investments with bold, personal style. Natasha's social life is just as eclectic as you'd expect. She's fiercely loyal to her old friends, especially fellow New York indie kids like Chloe Sevigny. You'll still spot them hitting art shows or grabbing late-night bites in the East Village. Clea Duvall, her But I'm a Cheerleader co-star, is another longtime confidant, and her comedy circle, including Maya Rudolph and other SNL alumni, keeps her connected to that quirky, offbeat vibe she loves. When Natasha hangs out, she skips pretentious velvet ropes in favor of local spots. She's a regular at East Village diners, indie cinemas, and old-school dive bars. One of her favorite haunts? The Anthology Film Archives, a hidden gem for cult movie screenings. She once said her perfect day might include napping in an art house theater, eating Ukrainian dumplings, and ending the night with karaoke. Fans love her down-to-earth energy. Her Instagram is a gold mine of quirky Polaroids, behind-the-scenes peeks, and dry, self-deprecating humor. To Natasha, her fans aren't just numbers. They're part of her comeback story, and she treats them with genuine respect. So, what's next for Natasha Lyonne? More acting, more directing, more creating, and probably a few surprises along the way. Her hit show Poker Face is set to continue with new mysteries, fresh celebrity cameos, and that beloved Barracuda cruising down desert roads. Behind the camera, Natasha is all in on Animal Pictures and Asteria Film, pushing the envelope with unique comedies, indie projects, and experimental animations. She's determined to tell stories her way, raw, real, and just a little weird. After everything she's been through, the scandals, the rehab, the heartbreak, Natasha Lyonne has emerged as a Hollywood force on her own terms. She's the comeback kid who refused to play by the rules, turned her pain into power, and did it all with that raspy laugh and rebel spirit. So, here's to Natasha Lyonne, a living reminder that no matter how many times life knocks you down, you can always get back up and rewrite your story. Don't let Natasha have all the fun. Tap subscribe and join us. Thanks for watching, and take care till next time.